Hey guys, Dave Moore with the idavemoore YouTube channel. Today I'm talking about my concealed carry gun. So if you've been following me for quite a while, you know that my concealed carry gun in the past, the Glock 19, Streamlight TLR1, HL, Trigicon RMR, threaded barrel, appendix, 2 mags, heavy ass gun belt. And I'm gonna be honest with you, people change, I change. I've dropped about 70 pounds in the past year and a half. I got back into bodybuilding. My clothing choices have changed, my carry options have changed, and my lifestyle itself has changed. Now, luckily, during the lull that I've taken from social media, from firearms-related social media, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, a carry category has kind of taken by the wayside. What was once a time where we carried Glock 17s, Glock 19s, and some people carry Glock 26, we had 3 categories: full-size, compact, and subcompact. Point being, there is a new category, and it's that slimline carry category, and it's something that I decided that I wanted to visit. So upon visiting this category, I decided to start off with the Springfield Hellcat Pro. What I found with that gun was it was slim, it was easy to carry. I could put it in a bag, I could put it in a fanny pack, I could put it in a glove box. It was something that I could wear lighter clothing, tighter t-shirts, lighter shorts, lighter belt, and comfortably carry it. But the size of it was still conducive to a fighting pistol. I felt like I could still fight with it. You know, large enough to fight with, small enough to carry. That old adage still held true with that size gun. But the issue that I had with the Springfield Hellcat was the grip width from front to tang was too narrow, which caused me to wrap my finger around the trigger more and ultimately led to an uncomfortable shooting experience. Now, who am I? I'm Dave Moore. I'm a Glock guy. So what I do, I went with the Glock 43X MOS. And what I've done to this is the Vortex Defender CCW 6MOA red dot, Dawson Precision, third co-witness, I think, iron sights. I have the Overwatch Precision tack trigger with the Overwatch Precision NIP coated Glock minus connector and an NDZ Performance magwell. And then I also undercut the trigger guard. So first thing first, the Vortex Defender CCW. Why did I decide to go with the Vortex Defender CCW? 2 things. I started this journey with the SIG Romeo Zero, that plastic housed optic. And I went with the 6MOA. It was cheap. I wanted to try it out. Well, when I was putting that on the Hellcat, none of the screws worked. I had to go with aftermarket screws, with the head size didn't work, and it was a nightmare from the start, but I did get it mounted. Dot was clear, dot was easy to find. I had concerns with the plastic housing. I knew that it wasn't something that was going to hold up over time. Even though I don't abuse my guns like a lot of you do, it was still a concern that I had. The major concern was how it adjusted, windage and elevation. There were no tactile clicks with the adjustments, so you're kind of forced to have a free-flowing screw, which wasn't as ultimately accurate adjustment as it could be. Didn't like that, so I returned that. Upon further review, everybody really seems to like the Vortex Defender CCW, and for good reason. It came with all the screws that I needed, and for Glock it's easy, but you have all the options of mounting hardware, that it comes with the optic. The 6MOA dot is crystal clear, the window is big. I can actually find the dot on this Vortex better than my RMRs, which says something. Also, with this macro carry category, macro carry optic category, having to co-witness your sights is no longer a thing. The stock sights co-witness, and all the other sights are pretty much stock sight heights. The other thing that I went with is the Overwatch Precision tack trigger. A lot of you know that the Overwatch Precision trigger has been around for quite a while. They have that NIP coating, which eliminates corrosion and it makes it a little bit slippery or whatever. So I went with the Overwatch. I like that flat face. I like that contrast with the black and the red. It looks cool, and it did shorten up the trigger quite a bit and just allowed for a much more comfortable, smooth experience with the trigger. Glock triggers suck, we know that. Now, I started off with the Ghost Ink 3.5 connector. Now, the issue that I had with that 3.5 connector and this Overwatch trigger is it caused a squishy, mushy trigger. It had 2 walls. It had your primary wall, and then it had a wall behind it, and then it would finally break, but it was very squishy. You couldn't predict the break. So I went with the Overwatch Precision NIP coated Glock minus connector for the Glock 43X MOS. Now, to be honest with you, the difference between the factory 43X connector or Glock 43 connector, and the Overwatch connector I think are pretty irrelevant. It doesn't really matter. So the connector I can do without. However, the trigger has improved. Just the trigger itself is better, but the connector, take it or leave it. The NDZ Performance magwell. The reason I went with that is, honestly, it was the slimmest, cheapest one that I could find. Most of these magwells connect the same. They're all decent, and it was slim enough to where it wasn't going to impede on my shirt or whatever, but it still allowed me assistance when reloading the gun. So that's really it. There's no hard science behind it. It was slim and it was cheap. Now you all know I do undercut the trigger guard as well. That's no different on this 43X. I do all my own undercuts, and I've decided that I'm not going to stipple this gun because I want my shirts to free flow over it. I don't want it to get bunched up. I want to make sure that this gun is comfortable to carry at all times. So I guess the moral of the story is people change over time. Lifestyles change, personal situations change. And I've went from that diehard kind of combat load carry style to now I just want to make sure that I have a gun on me, is comfortable, and I can carry it however I want to carry it. And this Glock 43X has afforded me that option. Now, the downfall to it are the mags. They are only 10-round mags, and it was explained to me that the science behind the Glock mags did not allow for them to increase capacity and keep the reliability of the mag. However, there are other options, and we have the shield arms option, and I have a few of those, though I'm not comfortable carrying them yet because I haven't tested them out at the range. This weekend when I go to the range and I get some test shots through them and check reliability of those particular mags, then maybe I'll start to carry them. But at this time, I want that lightweight, slim profile, and the 10-round mags, let's be honest, are lighter than a 15-round mag. And there are other options. You've got the Hellcat Pro holds 15, the SIG P365 XL holds 17. There are better options for capacity, but I'm a Glock guy. So in summation, that's where I'm at now. I'm on the micro carry category of carry guns, and I know I'm not the only one putting a video out like this. I know a lot of you are already carrying them, and I'm probably behind the wave here a little bit. I probably should have done this 4 or 5 years ago, but now it's just kind of something that I've switched to, and I'm glad that I did. Mind you, I still have that Glock 19 and that Glock 17, those race guns for loadouts and whatever, but when I leave the house, the gun that I have on me is a Glock 43X.